The pandemic has been a flickering traffic light in the economy. Road projects had to take a back seat to curb the consequences of the health crisis. But now that infrastructure gaps are ready to be filled, driving forward on the road to progress is now green and go. For 2 years, mobility has been put to a halt due to the pandemic, sidelining the incumbent administration's ambitious Build, Build, Build program for some time. But as restrictions have eased, both the government and private sectors are circling back to the much-needed infrastructure development in the country.
When the pandemic hit us, we lost trillions of pesos in our economy. When the lockdown was implemented, the economy almost totally shut down. And then came the third or the fourth quarter of 2020. That is when construction started to pick up. I think it was very important on the part of the private sector to pick up immediately. That was a major contribution of the private sector, in particular the continuing construction of the Skyway. They were able to finish and keep many of these workers on the job. So as far as the economy is concerned, the private sector doing infrastructure projects contributed significantly to the economy at the time. For us to be able to move forward, infrastructure development should be a focus of any economic development program in the country in the next few years.
COVID was very unknown to us. Naapektuhan na mabuti, siyempre, ang mga negosyo dito sa Laia. 2 years siyang tumagal na walang negosyo and everything. But they opened for 2 months noong 2020. Ang daming dumating agad na tao. Even the travel time has been cut short because of the roads that they built. As a matter of fact, before, yung pagparito lang, it will take us 6-7 hours. Ngayon, isipin mo, 3 hours nandito ka na. This is what is bringing more people to Laia. The convenience of traveling time and experiencing the beach.
San Miguel's decision to go into infrastructure development was part of its major diversification program in the late 2000s. To unlock the true economic potential of our country and enable more Filipinos to prosper, we needed to address the barriers to growth. Among them was the lack of infrastructure. The objective is to improve transportation, mobility, and accessibility in our cities by seamlessly connecting or linking up all our road and rail networks, airports, and seaports. With this, we can decongest Metro Manila, accelerate and make more efficient the transportation of people and goods, improve access between cities and provinces, develop new economic growth centers, boost our local industries, enable tourism, create more jobs and business and livelihood opportunities, and allow everyone to have a better quality of life.
On and off lockdowns throughout the pandemic have forced businesses to scale down or even completely close, causing a massive hit to employment and job security. Now that major infrastructure projects are back on track, the construction industry can keep jobs and offer more income opportunities to those who have lost theirs.
Among the resilient sectors during the height of the COVID-19, it was information technology and business process outsourcing. And then of course, yung ating health and wellness. And then third is the retail trade, especially the essential goods and services. Plus of course, yung pong ating construction sector. Prior to the pandemic, increasing talaga yung employment under the construction sector. Pero meron tayong konting setback noong 2020. So around 450,000 po yung nabawas doon sa ating employment sa construction sector. But it was able to bounce back in 2021, gaining a net employment of around 600,000. Ang isa pang tinutulong po kasi ng mga construction projects, bukod po doon sa mga construction sectors, once natapos na po lahat ng proyekto, it attracts investments, and more investments would mean more employment opportunities for all of us. Kasi isa yan sa mga bottlenecks that we want to address here in the country in terms of transport, logistics, yung ating mga roads and bridges, in terms also of the quality of this infrastructure. Tinitingnan po yan ng ating mga investors. How accessible is one place to another? And then yung mobility ng hindi lamang po ng transport, kundi mobility rin po ng ating mga manggagawa.
Despite the impact of the pandemic to most of our infrastructure projects, San Miguel Infrastructure's projects remained on full speed, giving our employees and partners a much-needed sense of job security. We can proudly say that there were no pandemic-related retrenchments. As San Miguel Infra continues to thrive, there will be thousands of job opportunities waiting to be filled. This is true to our vision of nation building. There are projects who are slowly beginning to materialize, such as the Mass Rail Transit 7 and the San Miguel Aerocity. These projects will directly create thousands of job opportunities, especially when they become operational. These employees will add to the 70,000-strong workforce committed to uplift the quality of life of every Filipino. Indirectly, our ongoing and upcoming projects will impact the communities surrounding them. The communities and businesses within its vicinities will prosper as we provide a network of roads and other vital infrastructure. It is one of the purposes of San Miguel Infrastructure to provide more jobs to our fellow Filipino workers through these infrastructure projects. Partnering with local contractors means supporting the Philippine workforce as a whole, since these projects, big or small, truly help and provide jobs.
At the height of the pandemic, movement was limited to only essential goods and services. But even then, we felt a major gap in the supply and demand chain of local produce. This led to a scarcity for consumers and surplus for producers. This brought to light the importance of farm-to-market roads, bridges, and similar construction projects related to food and agriculture.
Nag-grow out kami ng tilapia. Tapos recently may cream dory kami, may hipon. Kami din yung nagsusupply ng tilapia in nearby provinces like La Union, Pangasinan, Tarlac, Bataan, sa Manila, tsaka sa Cavite. Nag-harvest kami everyday, 25 to 30 tons a day. Tapos everyday nasa kalsada din kami nagdi-deliver ng isda. Yung dinideliver namin, kailangan live makarating sa market. May truck kami, may tangke, kailangan ng tubig para pagdating sa market, buhay pa yon. Yung dory namin, pag gina-harvest namin, naka-ice. Kaya dapat as soon as possible makarating sa market din para di matunawan ng yelo, para fresh pa rin. Importante sa amin sa deliver yung mga expressways. Kasi pag live tilapia, dapat on time makarating sa market. Halimbawa, pag sa La Union, dati nung wala pa yung TPLEX, mga 7 hours yung biyahe. Laking ginhawa nung may TPLEX. 4 hours na lang. Dahil bumilis yung biyahe ng truck, yung mga tao, di masyadong pagod, di masyadong puyat. Hindi rin delikado sa highway. Malaking bagay yung mga farm to market road, tulad ng mga expressways natin. Kasi pag humahango ka ng di-deliver, mapapabilis yung deliver niya. Konti yung expenses, makakatipid. Kami, isda yung business namin. Kailangan namin yung expressway para on time yung deliver sa market ng product namin. Sa Pilipinas naman, sagana tayo sa resources. Kaya dapat tayo, tangkilikin natin yung sarili natin. Sa tulong ng expressway, nakokonektan niya lahat yung probinsya ng Pilipinas. Napapadali siyang makarating sa pagkainan ng tao.
Our expressways provide faster access to local agriculture and livestock suppliers. Expressways, road infrastructure plays a very significant role in accelerating agricultural production. It is one of the key components for development, as it promotes access to economic and social services, generating increased agricultural income and productive employment.
With more roads and shortened travel hours, places that used to feel like a world away are more accessible than ever. Better connection to cities and provinces have expanded our reach and have allowed for more economic opportunities outside major city centers. But there is still a long way to go in terms of urban planning. How do we continue moving forward? And what could our country be with cohesive and long-term plans in place?
Sustainability, as defined officially, is addressing the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of future generations. I prefer the definition of the Native American Indian chief, Seattle. We borrowed the earth or the environment from our children. We did not inherit it from our ancestors. And urban planning, urban regional planning, environmental planning can address the balance between sustainability and infrastructure. Urban planning is ordering the use of the land, housing, transportation, infrastructure, services and utilities, parks and open spaces. It's making our cities more efficient, more orderly, and looking at it more comprehensively. Also relating the built environment and the natural environment. It's very comprehensive in terms of time. Like at Palafox, we plan up to the next century. Urban planning includes not just the land use, but the circulation in the city, its connectivity, mobility, accessibility. And many of the infrastructure projects being implemented by San Miguel Corporation's infrastructure group are filling the gap. Creating cities and townships away from Metro Manila is helping Metro Manila. Because if we don't do that, the Metro Manila situation will have more urban problems, traffic problems, congestion problems. And we have wrong land uses at the wrong place at the wrong time. Most of our planning is short-term and opportunistic, not long-term and visionary. Urban expansion of Metro Manila, we cannot stop it anymore. But I wrote also in 1973 when I was a student, development is not worthy of a name unless spread evenly like butter. We should balance the development. We really have to address poverty and job creation. And the poorer parts of our country, they don't have jobs because they don't have the infrastructure as well. So many things we have to address to benefit the greatest majority of our people. We really have connectivity, mobility, accessibility. San Miguel is now the pace setter in helping urban development and infrastructure. The comprehensive planning we have agropolis, agro, the farm and the city, ecolopolis, ecology, environment in the city, aquapolis, the water in the city, then aerotropolis, the airport in the city. I think San Miguel is doing patriotic and philanthropic infrastructure. So we are aligned in our love of our country.
While the pandemic has hampered 2 years' worth of growth, it is only a matter of time before the private and public sectors fill the transportation and construction gaps. With high hopes for better days to come, what kind of life do we foresee down the road to progress?
San Miguel Infrastructure has an array of ongoing and proposed infrastructure projects. The new Manila International Airport, the MRT-7, are ongoing projects of the company. Our infrastructure projects are envisioned to benefit both private and public, as well as alternative modes of transport. Taking into consideration the environment, we have included in our designs green open spaces, bike and pedestrian accesses as well. With regards to automation, we have already instituted the use of RFID stickers and automated toll gates to allow for faster processing and less congestion at tollways. These modernization and automation initiatives provide a hassle-free travel experience to all commuters.
Transportation is very crucial in terms of the operations of everything green in general. Everything Green, Trading and Consulting is a social eco-enterprise wherein we provide end-to-end innovative or green-novative services in terms of using waste materials and turning it into functional items for businesses. Since we partner with 18 local communities all over the Philippines, from the north to the south, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, infrastructures help us to become more accessible to them in the same way them to be accessible to the market. So it works both ways. I do believe that supporting local products would help us also boost our economy in general. So with more infrastructures in place, like airports, expressways, and those hard-to-reach areas, even the smallest or the micro businesses such as us would grow in terms of faster and efficient services and being able to deliver to more customers and being able to also reach out to more communities.
Infrastructure projects of San Miguel will enable greater connectivity and encourage further development in rural areas and decongest major cities for better mobility. By moving more people more efficiently, San Miguel helps the economy by making its citizens more productive. Less time spent traveling will translate to increased economic activities. And more importantly, more time to spend with your families.
Picking up the pace and getting back on track is no easy task. But this is a trip San Miguel Corporation is more than willing to embark on. As we envision a brighter future for our country, we lay the groundwork, one road at a time.